Great day. How is everybody? Let me begin, first of all, by saying how excited I am to have the opportunity to address my fellow Mississippians. The opportunity to have you in the capital city, the Jackson, Mississippi, is one that we do not take lightly. We understand that you could have been anywhere in the state, but you chose to come home to your capital, home to the capital of the state, the great state of Mississippi. And because of that, MEC, we are grateful and we appreciate the opportunity to host you here. Let me begin by, first of all, saying that our city, our state has an amazing opportunity to do some amazing things. As we approach these opportunities, we approach them with laser-like focus and an understanding that this is our moment, it is our time that we have to get it right. We don't believe that the opportunity to pass the buck to another generation, to another group of people, to another group of individuals lies at our feet. But it's our opportunity, it's our time, it's our responsibility to take the bull by the horn and to get this thing done once and for all. You know, they say that Mississippi is the fattest state. They say we are the poorest state. They say that when it comes to being last, we lead. They say that when it comes to being first, we're last. They say that in Mississippi, the chance to see race relations better will never come upon us. They say that Mississippi has been burning and it will continue to burn. Well, I say, who are they? And why do we listen to they so much? This is an opportunity for us to rewrite our story. It's a chance for us to rewrite who we are in the history of this country, because finally Mississippi gets an opportunity, Mr. Speaker, to lead. Let me tell you about a few of those ways that we will lead in our great state and why it has to start in your capital city. In the capital city, we have declared that we are the bold new city. What does this mean, Tony? It means that no longer will the capital city sit by and wait on things to happen. We understand that the change that we desire, the change that we seek, that this change cannot start by waiting on the legislature. While we love our legislators, but that change cannot start by this capital city waiting on that change to start in the State House. That change cannot start, it cannot begin by waiting on our friends in our neighboring counties. But that change begins with your capital city and the leadership that has been elected. How do we do that? What does that look like? Well, we've already talked about the fact that our neighbors, Clinton has an A-rated school district. We love Clinton, but we believe that in the city of Jackson, that we should have the opportunity to boast a school district with 30,000 students where all children have an opportunity to have a quality, high-rated education. We plan to lead in this. While many people were upset and they saw the third grade gate come out and they were really surprised and didn't know what to do with themselves, the leadership in Jackson said this was a great opportunity for the city of Jackson to lead. The city of Jackson is the only municipality in the state that boasts having child care centers. So what we've done is decided to sit down with Jackson Public Schools and align our pedagogy, to align methodology, to align expectations in order to see our 3 and 4-year-olds leave our program, go into a 5-year-old program at Jackson Public Schools and be able to read by the 3rd month of kindergarten, and to be able to do that fluently with all of the key elements of reading that it takes for a child to be able to read successfully. And by the 3rd grade, not only will that gate be wide open, but it will be kicked down. We're calling this program Project Reads, because every child, by the time they enter 3rd grade, not leave 3rd grade, but enter 3rd grade, should have those emerging literacy skills that enable them in the next 20 years to be a productive, viable, literate workforce that no company, no industry can overlook your state, because your city is producing literate, productive citizens. Crime, we all hear about it, we all know about it, and if you listen to what you hear, you'll think that crime is crazy in Jackson. When the truth of the matter is crime is down all over the city. The truth of the matter is that crime is not the way that it used to be. But we understand that crime is not just about numbers, but it's about the way that you feel. So we are committed to ensuring through a program that we have instituted a project called MACE, Metro Area Crime Elimination, that allows us the opportunity to take crime by the horns so that you, the Mississippi Economic Council, can talk good about our city. When you're out talking to folk who are looking at coming to your state, you can speak well of your city because we're doing the things that it takes to ensure that crime is down in every area, in every aspect, in every place that is called your capital city. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you about something that I'm extremely excited about. It is the place that your city will lead a national conversation. This conversation is about infrastructure improvement. Well, we understand that our country is crumbling underneath the very pavement and the concrete that it is sitting on. It is doing so because of years of neglect of our infrastructure. Recently, our city entered into a consent decree with the EPA and the Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality. While some people saw it as a curse, I saw it as a blessing, because finally it ensured that we would have to get our act together in your capital city. Well, we would have to ensure that just by having the highest water quality in the state was not enough, but ensuring that we had the kind of infrastructure that ensured that when developments decided to come into your state, that they will look at the city of Jackson because of infrastructure improvements that ensured that they would have not only high quality water, but they would also have the best sewer and storm drainage system. How will we lead, Tony? We'll lead because the EPA has already said that they are looking for municipalities and states who would use an integrated planning methodology as it related to creating new infrastructure. Your capital city is using that planning, while we have already met with the commission that had been assigned to the 1% sales tax that citizens passed in January. We understand that this commission gives us an ability to have an infrastructure master plan that we're calling the Bold New Infrastructure Improvement Program. This program allows us to lead in the front of social justice and social change. How do we do that? We do that by ensuring that communities and neighborhoods that have never had walking trails and never had bike trails and never had sidewalks now feel a part of this new resurgence in our country and in our state, because they have a chance to see a new way of social quality of life being implemented right there in their neighborhoods. We have a chance to lead by ensuring that we are meeting every environmental standard, not only meeting those, but exceeding those, by looking at the way that we do infrastructure, by not simply resorting to gray infrastructure and simply looking at how do we do things with concrete and with asphalt, but how do we do things by helping to restore our ecosystem, by ensuring that we're using green infrastructure. Not only asking for contractors and engineers to be at the table, but we're asking for architects and landscape architects and folk who understand what it means to ensure that green infrastructure is being implemented. And finally, Mississippi Economic Council, we believe that the city of Jackson, your state, Mississippi, will lead in creating a new economic engine that is called infrastructure improvements. We need cheerleaders who understand that they say a lot of things, that they believe a lot of things. They may think that Mississippi is still burning, but we are at the helm of a new frontier, and that frontier speaks to the fact that not only will we hail state and hotty-toddy, but we will also declare that Mississippi is a vibrant city, not just because of our football teams, but because of the amazing people who live here, the amazing people who work here, and the amazing people who will thrive here. So finally, in my last 13 seconds, I always recite a poem that helps us to understand the magic of the moment that we're living in. Why we say in the city of Jackson that this is our moment, that this is our time. Benjamin E. Mays writes a poem. It is called God's Minute. It is something that we talk about most expressly in our office on the 3rd floor in City Hall over there on South President Street. One of the quotes that I have on our board, it says that every minute that we neglect to get better pushes us closer to unemployment. But finally, Benjamin E. Mays says it this way, and I'm done. He says that I have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it, forced upon me, can't refuse it, didn't seek it, didn't choose it, but it is up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it, give an account if I abuse it. It is just a tiny minute, but eternity is in it. God bless you, Mississippi, and the Mississippi Economic Council.